dark as a grave down here. Can't see the nose in front of my. Oh shit! It's dark as a grave down here. Can't see the nose in front of my roguishly handsome face. Watch your step, Emma. Ouch! I hit my head on something. Make your way down slowly, kid. I don't want you to slip. Oh, yes, Mr. Edgeworth. There's gotta be a light switch somewhere. There's gotta be a light switch here somewhere. Ah, bingo! What the fuck? Is this the smuggling area? Oh my god, did we just find the smuggling room? So the hidden 51st floor really is being used as a storeroom. Oh my god, this is everything from like the past cases. The suitcase, the statue, the iron infant. We need to take a careful look over all these items. She got Fuka this. I love Fuka. Fuka's cool. Alright, Mr. Edgeworth, you promised me an explanation or three. I did indeed. Where to even start? Wow, a lot's been happening, huh? What a case. It's not supposed to fill you with excitement, Emma. Seems you've gotten yourself into a real pickle, Mr. Prosecutor Attorney. I'm not a prosecutor. I'm not an attorney or a prosecutor anymore. Well, whatever you are, I think it's time for science to lend a helping hand. Don't worry, I brought my entire kit with me. Well, if you're sure. Are you kidding? I live for moments like this. Here, let's make this an official. Good working with you again, Mr. Edgeworth. And you, Miss Sky. And then there were four. Right, everyone. Let's get to work. I want to know where that elevator goes. Looks like it goes down? It's something we'll certainly want to investigate further, but we should look around here first. Aye, aye, Captain. Let me know if you find anything juicy. I'll keep trying to see what I can remember. I'll let you know if anything comes to mind. Thank you, Kay. Emma? Ready, willing, and able to investigate, Mr. Edgeworth. Very well. Then let's begin. Is Emma following us? Oh, Emma's following us. 51st floor, storeroom. Oh, Emma's following us. Ew! This thing! Oh my god, bro. This is all from, like, past cases, dog. Is somebody using that one, perhaps? Oh, I just realized, Lamel. We have that one. Yay! Eureka! Hey, Legia, you doing okay? I'm doing okay, Ender. How are you? Kay's not doing okay, but I'm doing okay. Kay was carrying a jam and ninja mask when she was found. But it looks like it might have originally come from this hook. Scientifically speaking, that doesn't seem like a crazy hypothesis. Should mean that Kay was really here. As you put it, not a crazy hypothesis. But why? Did she come to steal something, maybe? There's all kinds of stuff here. Because she's a great thief who steals the truth, I suppose. No, I think it's too early to jump to any conclusions. There's no point in trying to figure out the whys right now. Let's take a closer look at it all. They all have labels. Labels with numbers printed on them. Exhibit numbers, maybe? You said they were all pieces of evidence, right? Yes, but judging by how the numbers are written by the items themselves, I guess these are prices. Prices? I would have never guessed that. Wait, none of this stuff could be worth that much money, could it? Prices are very high indeed. It's no wonder she's surprised. Let's examine all these in detail. Drawing a blank trying to imagine what? Oh, I might have an idea. A star-shaped outline? Don't we have a piece of evidence like that? It might well be connected. Eureka! The outline of the dust matches the bottom of this candelabrum exactly. I think there's a very strong chance that this is where our murderer took it from. Which would mean the candelabrum was evidence from another case. It certainly seems likely, but that's not a concern right now. The key thing to know is that the murder weapon was taken from the storeroom. Oh, isn't he a cutie? Look at this fluffy little guy. That's the stuffed animal we found at Gourd Lake. Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about him. I was trying to figure out what the hell that was. He should be in the possession of the prosecutor in charge of that case. So how did he wind up here? Aw, but look, he's missing his left horn. He is, but he never had it in the first place. At least not as far as we ever saw. Detective merchandise, huh? We need to contact the manufacturer. I demand a recall. Now that I come to think of it, why would anyone give the president a broken toy to begin with? So this storeroom is actually more of a stockroom? It would seem so, as much as it pains me to consider such a thing. What kind of person sells off evidence from serious criminal cases? And who would even want to pay for all this stuff? Somebody clearly. The price tags are proof of that. Wow, people really will collect anything, huh? Fascinating. Big guy doing here. The statue. What is it? Got some new data for me? Not exactly. It's just something from a case I worked on. A piece of evidence. I believe it's called the Alfred statue. I'd even remember that. I'm surprised you did. And there were two of them, a real one and a fake. Whichever one this is, it shouldn't be here of all places. An old case, huh? Guess you have worked on a bunch of different... Oh my fucking god. Why are you here? Gotcha! Caught in the act, red dang-handed. Guiltier than a tomcat covered in creep. I thought you were never coming back. My eyes! Stop that at once! Ain't no stopping my snapping, not till I got every dang detail and then some. Think I'm about to let a bunch of dirty criminals go before I get the shot? Think again. We're not criminals! Oh boy. Yeah, sure, pull the other one, it's got the bells on. This here camera's a weapon of justice. It ain't about to be hornswoggled by your cheap denials. Oh, it's you. Huh? Why, you're that low-down dirty jerk of a prosecutor, ain't you? Who you calling a low-down dirty jerk? This is Lotta here. A photojournalist by trade, we've crossed paths on a few occasions, especially on that one particular case. She's hard to forget, and even harder to get a word in edgewise with. Quit making that face, will ya? That's the face of a no-good schemer if I've ever saw one. I didn't leave the best impression on her either. Well, payback time, Mr. Schemer. You ought to be thankful all I want from you is a couple pictures. We're just here to investigate. Sure you are. If by investigate you mean pull the wool over a lot of wild eyes. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I thought she might listen to me. It didn't hurt to try, I guess, but we're probably better off leaving her alone for now. You said the statue was a piece of evidence from an old case of yours, right? Pretty weird looking, I have to say. I know it's known as the Alfred statue. The what? The Alfred statue. But it says here that it's called the Aleph Red statue. Aleph Red. Alfred. Aleph Red. What are you muttering about? Oh, nothing. Let's carry on looking around, shall we? I can't believe they suspect poor Kay. It's outrageous. I couldn't agree more. But the best thing we can do right now is to stay calm and look for clues. Except, I've been scientifically processing the situation. I think I've come up with a better idea. Maybe we can administer some carefully targeted electric shocks directly to Kay's brain. What do you say? Might be just the thing to bring our memory back online. That sounds more like a little risky. Sounds incredibly risky, in fact. Personally, I'm still of the opinion that I'm searching this room for clues is the better option. Really? But a little risk is what science is all about. Yes, a little being the operative phrase. I'm back for a little while to interpret for my professor, but I'm still mostly based in Europe. Gotta keep studying until I'm the finest forensic investigator in town. I'm very glad to hear you say that. Dedication to one's chosen field is a student's greatest responsibility. Sure is. I just don't want to get ahead academically. I've been trying hard at sports, too. Especially the event they held at school athletics meets. You know, the one. Oh, there are quite a few to choose from. It's huge over there. And unlike here, it's considered a real hardcore sport for adults. That's right, I'm talking about glasses battles. Who hasn't heard of those, right? Me. Never. Not even once. Glasses battles. Oh my god! There it is. There's an achievement. Glasses battles. Who can flash their glasses the hardest? Miss Hart sure seems to have a grudge against you, Mr. Edgeworth. Low-down, dirty jerk of a prosecutor. She really wasn't holding back. We've met a few times. On one case in particular. Let's not hear her attitude and sudden appearance to distract us from a job at hand. We just need to gather all the facts and apply the principles of logical reasoning. By following my methods, the truth will present itself soon enough. Low-down, dirty journalist notwithstanding. Don't take this the wrong way, but... Did her calling you a low-down, dirty jerk get to you, Mr. Edgeworth? God, don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Piles of banknotes just left out for all to see. A little tasteless, wouldn't you say? No way, these are all $100 bills. That's a fortune right there. How many years would it take for you to make that much money, Mr. Edgeworth? Please, Emma, I don't even want to think about it. Okay, logic stuff. We've seen items of old evidence marked with price tags along with a huge pile of cash. I think it's pretty clear that somebody has been running an illicit trade in judicial goods. Shady deals on a hidden 51st floor? This is big. It has to be, right? I think it must be. We'll need to investigate a little further yet. Need to find out more about what's going on here. If only there was an eyewitness we could interview. An eyewitness, huh? I don't know. Why exactly are you here, Miss Hart? Me? I told you, I'm in it for the truth, for the good of the society, and for little old me, of course. I'm a photographer for the people. For the people? If you won't tell me the real reason you're here, perhaps I'm going to hazard a guess. Somebody was carrying out an illicit police evidence trafficking scheme here in the storeroom. Oh, so she's after a juicy story. Makes sense. What? How'd y'all figure that out? Guess it means I don't have to tippy-toe around it anymore now. One of my sources told me that down low about an underground auction. What? So all the items here were sold to the highest bidder. Folks were slinging money around like it was going out of fashion. Had to come see for myself, of course, get my eyes on the subject, you know? Should have heard the tales my contract was telling. Taller than 2 trees or so I thought at first. Anyhow, wasn't able to write it up based on hearsay alone. So yesterday I snuck in, slunk behind this here statue, and settled in to wait. Bidding starting late at night, I carried right on through the break of dawn. So the auction and the murder happened on the same night. Coincidence? Dirty deals in a secret storeroom. Talk about a story. Was there anything else on sale apart from the items of evidence in this room? Sure, there was regular old stuff too. Shady artworks from who knows where, that kind of thing. What way are shady artworks regular exactly? But the evidence was the big draw for sure. Reckon that they were selling them faster than the crook could smuggle them out of the cop and prosecutor shops. And I bet you got good pictures of the whole thing, right, Miss Hart? Well, you see, the main event was down below. I had to try and see what I could from up here. Having been up here since yesterday, I assume you witnessed the entire auction from start to finish then. It was an underground affair, like I said, so folks wasn't exactly giving much away. All of them customers came down one at a time from up on the roof there. Threw on masks just as soon as they got down the ladder, and that ain't all. They had a voice changer doodads on them, see? Teeny tiny ones. Dinkier than a bug's behind. If you couldn't see their real faces and you couldn't hear their real voices. Surreptitious as all heck. You mean surreptitious, right? I surely do. Sweet, sweet surreptitude. Also, not a word. Anywho, once they had their gear on, they went right on downstairs. When it came time to leave, they all done the same bout in reverse. Up they came again, one by one. Ass back on the hook. Up the ladder and away. Whoa, that's a serious operation. How many participants were there? 11 altogether. I counted them when they came down the ladder. 11 people. I just didn't hide behind a stupid statue the whole time, you know. You didn't? Then where were you? Well, when I first got here, You know what? That ain't important right now. So you were hiding behind the statue from the very beginning. Anywho, I watched all them folks come in from my spying spot there in the shadows. I see, so you were watching from behind the statue. They used that there elevator to get down below. And once they all went down there, I snuck up and took a peek at what was going on. You mean the elevator remained in the room beneath? Nah, they sent it back up, but there's a little peeky hole if you know where to look. Elevator don't quite sit flush with the floor, see? And if you bend down and squint just right, you can see the whole shebang. Did you catch that of who was in charge? Alright, sure, I guess I did. Ain't half so good a story if you don't get a glimpse of the old evil ringleader after all. I wonder who this ringleader is. I'll have to ask her some more. You mentioned a ringleader. Can you tell me any more about them? Y'all should know. I came here to get me an exclusive. An exclusive ain't much dang good if you done spilled the beans already. I see, so you don't actually know anything about them. You think that's why she won't give us an answer? Makes sense, I guess. You got me. Couldn't see if it was a man or a woman, a kid or an old-timer, nothing. What were they wearing? Could you see that at least? Sure, white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower on the lapel. Them three things is what I remember. But what's good as the description of the outfit if I don't got a clue as to who was wearing it? Those ringleaders disguise their identity too, just like everybody else. Yes, sirree! Mask, voice changer, the whole 9 yards. They were wearing one of the masks. Which one? Let me see. Oh yeah, this guy. Zervan. Zervan? What kind of name is that? Seriously, Mr. Edgeworth, you never heard of Zervan? He's global hero Onya Kopod's arch nemesis. Who hasn't heard of Zervan, the Time Lord? I think you might be better off asking who has. Sure you didn't get a glimpse of their face at all? No, I danged well didn't. Oh, kind of scotches my scoop. This whole time has been nothing but a simple hunt. I should have never come. You said that the ringleader was wearing a white jacket, white gloves, and a magenta flower, correct? Sure did. Don't ask me why they was dressed up like a peacock on parade day, but they was. Is this the outfit you saw? Well, holy smokes, it sure heck is. Wait, so the big cheese is dead? All we know is that she is the victim of the case we're investigating. Her name was Rosie Ringer. Do you know her? Nope. So the ringleader was a lady. Well, ain't that just a slipper in dang eel? What the fuck? Slippier than a dang eel. Throwing me off with a man's jacket like that. Probably she did it to fool you specifically. But setting that aside for now, what's important is that we discovered something vital to the case. Namely that the underground auction was chaired by none other than our victim. So somebody done bumped off the boss, huh? And that's what was happening. When what was happening? Huh? Oh, nothing at all. Y'all just go about your business now. No offense, Miss Hart, but that made you sound about 5 times more suspicious. Suspicious, my foot. I told you all. It's nothing. You won't get nothing more out of me than that. Wait, so there is more? How many dang times do I gotta tell you? It ain't nothing, okay? I ain't gonna say nothing either way. Oh, you can just tell us a little more. Pretty, please. I'll tell you this, okay? I'm a journalist. A news hound. A scoop hunter, you hear? News hound. Exclusive articles go out, money comes in. That's how the game is played. Tell you more? Heck, I done told you too much already. Wait, what if I examine some fingerprints for you? Pro bono. What kind of cockamamie thank you is that? I'd sooner get a tooth pulled. You want intel? You go dig it up yourself, just like I had to. Okay, guess she isn't gonna talk to either of us. Oh, she will. I handle things from here, Emma. There's a certain technique I find useful when dealing with difficult customers such as her. She may not give up the information voluntarily, but that doesn't mean she can't be persuaded to. Mind chess. I ain't telling you nothing, you hear? Now quit wasting my time before I really blow a fuse. As we've seen, she's very quick-tempered. She'll try to cut the conversation dead whenever possible. I don't have much time to think, so I'll need to be swift and decisive. Miss Hart is definitely hiding something from me. So my first move is to discover what that something is. Doop, doop, doop. I need you to tell me everything you know. And don't you dare leave anything out. Go jump in a creek, you big bully. Why should I tell you anything? You don't got nothing to do with me now, nor me with you neither. I can see you're a little agitated, Miss Hart. Let's just calm down, try to talk reasonably. I am calm, dang you. These ways. I'll be just as soon as y'all quit yanking my dang chain. That's better. Being a news hound all about keeping a cool head no matter what the world throws at you, see? Speaking of news hound, this might interest you. I met her one few days ago. She was a very hungry young reporter indeed. A reporter with a very peculiar turn of phrase, similar to your own effect. Oh yeah? She spoke like me, huh? Guess that could be someone I know. I had to take a guess, bro. She's her sister. Damn! Why'd that take off so much? Oh my god, bro. I'm about to run out of time. Oh my god. Her name is Tabby Lloyd. If I had closed my eyes, I could have believed I was listening to you. She told me about somebody she called the Chief. She was talking about you, wasn't she? Oh, so y'all met Tabby, huh? Well, ain't that something? Where'd y'all bump into her? She's a great kid, reckon. Wait. Oh, no, you don't. You ain't getting on my good side, bringing her into this, you sneaky snake. Ooh, you nearly had me, too. Interesting. Talk about Miss Lloyd seemed to make her lower her guard a little. I think we use that to our advantage. Time to deploy my clue. Oh, no! Wrong one. Oh, I'm dead. Yeah, tabloid. I know. I don't got time for this hog swill. That's it. I'm out of here. I didn't mean to. Curses. That's the first time I've lost a mine chest, bro. I don't have anything to do with you. That's a little unkind, don't you think? After all, I know you're an apprentice. I know her pretty well, in fact. Yeah? Well, I guess it does seem kind of cold of me to say that if you know her pretty good. Wouldn't want the poor kid thinking I don't give a rat's behind. Good, then you'll tell us what you know. Fine. See? It's like this. Tell me a scoop. Wait, what am I thinking? Dang it, Lotta. You can't let him bamboozle you that easy. What's that about a scoop? Forget it. It was nothing. How embarrassing. A professional journalist making a careless slip of the tongue. You have a scoop, don't you? Now tell me what it is. Ah! Alright, I got me a scoop, a big one. I can't just go blabbing about it to y'all. I got bills to pay. She may be hiding something very important. I have to get it out of her somehow. We need to know the details of the scoop. I love the music of this, too. Doom, 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 doom. She's quick to anger, but she's also quick to let key information slip. Now that we know that, the rest shouldn't be too hard. Let's see what else we can get out of her. The scoop of yours, does it have something to do with the auction? Why are you trying to infiltrate an underground auction? It only stands to reason that you observed something. Otherwise, what would you have to write about? I don't know what to tell you. I didn't hear nothing. If you didn't hear the sound of nothing, does that mean you did hear the sound of something? Something during your time in this room. Oh, see, that's... wasn't nothing really, just a little noise is all. Wouldn't even make page 16. Forget I mentioned it. So something happened during the auction. Something that made the noise of some kind. This could be a valuable clue. Your big scoop involves something criminal in nature, doesn't it? Might be it did, might be it didn't. Which is it? This is important. All right. You don't gotta holler at me like that. I ain't done nothing shameful or nothing. Just snuck in and did some undercover reporting. Silent treatment, huh? Well, two can play at that game. Okay. Damn! Why does it take off so much? Why does Lotta heart hurt so much? Jesus! Okay. I'll be the judge of whether your actions were shameful or not. An unlawful entry into private property is very shameful indeed. In fact, it's a crime. Oh boy, here we go. Hey, you did the exact same thing, genius! Oh, well, I guess you're a prosecutor, huh? You're allowed to do stuff like that. Let's not imagine the fact I handed in my badge, shall we? Still, it don't amount to a whole hill of beans, right? There's folks out there that have done way worse. Murder, for one. Next to murder, trespassing ain't hardly nothing. No! I clicked it! Fuck! Oh, I clicked it! Fucking hell. Why does she hurt so bad? Damn. From your mutterings about murder just now, I gather that your scoop has something to do with a murder homicide? No, it's just talk it all hypothetical, like, you know, it's about murder being the big one and all. Ain't nothing worse than murder. Not the most skillful evasion I've heard in my career. Look, I done told you, okay? I snuck into the auction. I'll cop to that. A murder? I don't know nothing about no murder. Ain't seen nothing. Ain't heard nothing. Scout's honor. I don't have a clue as to how to proceed with this line of questioning. This scoop of yours, does it have something to do with this auction? You know what? I clean forget. But you tried to infiltrate an underground auction. It only stands to reason that you observed something. Otherwise, what would you have the right about? I don't know what to tell you. I didn't hear nothing. Gonna have to watch you giving up the badge. That was probably one of the most badass scenes I think this series has had. It's definitely in top 5 of this series. You told me you heard something during the auction. You claimed it wasn't important, but it must have been. Otherwise, why remember it? I think it was something very memorable indeed. In fact, I believe it was the cry of a murder victim. How do you keep doing that? All right, it's true. I wound up smack dab in the middle of a murder scene, but only by accident. And that's all you're gonna hear out of me. Won't be no scoop left otherwise. The murder Miss Hart witnessed. Must be the same murder we ourselves have been investigating. That should prove to be a very valuable piece of information indeed. Perhaps we should finish up by confirming the credibility of her claim. We'll start from the top. I need you to describe the murder in detail. It's vitally important. Wish I could help y'all, but I don't rightly recall a whole bunch. Ain't much I can tell you, sorry. I mean, look at me. Can't even get my facts straight half the time. That's true. Like the last time. Be honest, Miss Hart. I know there's something you're still not telling me. Ain't nothing left to tell, dang it. I done spilled my guts already. You said you were wound up in the middle of a murder scene. Is that really true? You're calling me a liar now? Ooh-wee, now I'm mad. Real mad. At my time. I'm a journalist. How am I gonna sell stories if folks can't trust me that I'm telling the truth? I got me a motto, you know. Faster than anybody, honester than everybody. A motto, huh? That could be an important clue. I should bear it in mind. Be honest, Miss Hart. I know there's something you're still not telling me. I can't imagine that being so vague on the fact is a trait valued among journalists. Surely accuracy and honesty are what's necessary when reporting a story. Story? Well, see. It seems your so-called information is credible after all. Isn't credible. Look, there was a murder, and I was there, and I can even prove it. Fucking bitch. You can prove it, can you? How? Got it right. Wait, you heard that? I was just talking to myself. Don't think nothing of it. She's still hiding something. This is a very vital clue. I'll need to use it to the maximum effort. Pathetic. I know you've been keeping something from me. And that something is proof. Proof related to the murder you witnessed. Proof sound enough to form the basis of a story you're hoping to sell. Dang it all to heck. Give me a break, will ya? I'll come clean, okay? That's what you want, right? Here, I done snapped me a photo. Happy now? You better be. And that's checkmate. You know, after I lost a couple times. Can't believe I let that happen. Betrayed by my own big mouth. Well, it happened, so it's time to tell us everything. I saw the whole thing. Watched the auction from start to finish. But you didn't just watch it, right? You took pictures too? Yeah, about that. So like I said, I was spying on the whole thing right from the get-go. It was all shouting out bids, and then somebody wins, and bam, down comes the hammer. Head on upstairs and pay, shouts the old ringleader, and then the whole thing starts over again. Anyhow, as soon as that happened, I had to think quick. That's when I ran behind their statue and hid. Who was it that eventually appeared? Didn't see nothing, but I heard something that made me pretty sure it was whoever placed a win in bed. The sweet, sweet sound of cold hard cash. Not sure I have any idea what that sounds like. Sound of someone counting bills, perhaps? Anyhow, the deal was you settled your bills up here. I heard two people yabbered for a little while. Wait, so two people came up on the elevator? You betcha. My guess is the other one was our friend, the ringleader. Anyway, yabber on it goes for a little while, then a scream. Well, that shook me up pretty good, so I hunkered down in my hiding place and tried to stay out of sight. So you didn't see the moment of the murder? Nah, but I heard it real good. You didn't try and help whoever was being attacked? Quit trying to be funny, girlie. Don't suit you none. I'm just a dainty little journalist all on her lonesome. You think I was fixing to jump in and save the day? Dainty. Anyhow, then there was a bunch of rustling sounds. Right about when that was happening, I got the feeling pretty bad about what I'd done. That makes sense, I guess. After all, you didn't. I remember get out my camera and snap even a single picture. Scoop like that drops right in my lap and I miss it? Somebody ought to tan my hide. Anyhow, then a little more time goes by and there's this kind of clattering noise. I'm there thinking, gotta get the shot this time, and so I grab one real quick from the shadows there. Can we see this photograph? Aw, do I have to? Here. That's the person in the red raincoat, the one who attacked Kay. So Kay's raincoated assailant also attacked the victim here in the storeroom. Then proceed up to the roof where they assaulted Kay. Only one person in this picture. Where's the victim? Weird, huh? I wondered the same thing. Heard two people, but there was only one in the shot I got. I didn't see nobody else in the room either. That's the killer, all right. Leastways, I'm pretty sure it is. Are we saying the victim disappeared? How'd you know it was a killer just by looking? Because they're literally red-handed with blood. How else would that get there, huh? And the auction just carried on after that? Sure did. They just went right along like nothing had happened. Rich folks is crazier than a box of frogs. I'll never understand how they think. Funny, fine journalists are struggling to understand as well. I don't think this is connected to anything, but let's try it. Oh, okay. Guess it is. If the storeroom was the actual scene of the crime, then you expect the body to have been up here at some point as well. Huh? Well, yeah. But think back to what Miss Hart told us about how the customers left the auction. Do you remember? Of course. They came up from downstairs back to the storeroom and... Oh! Exactly. The killer would have had to hide the body in order to avoid its discovery. The question is, where did they hide it? Emma, if you wouldn't mind putting your skills to work for me now, I'd love to. You just say what you need, and I'll get right on it. Very well. I'd like you to check for blood residue. Luminol test, in other words. Sure thing. Prepare to witness the power of science. Never seen somebody's eyes sparkle with anticipation before. Alright, how about we test the ladder over there first? Based on Miss Hart's picture, I think the person in the red raincoat is about to climb it and make their escape, which means that there's a high chance of a positive result. Yeah, that brought it out nicely and made it feel much more real. Anyway, I think you've got the gist of how to look for blood traces now, right? I'm sure there's still some more to be found. Why don't you give it a try? And that's how it's done. Take a good look around and see if you can find some other places to test with the luminol. I was gonna say, no way there's a box. Mr. Edgeworth, blood! But how could it have gotten there? Maybe somebody put something with blood on it in there? The body, maybe, Edgeworth? Come on. Use your big boy brain. Ah, careful with that. You can't go around spraying stuff others with luminol. I wasn't about to. Spray K with luminol. Got a positive. There's blood here. But how come? Probably because this is where the murder was actually committed, I'd say. Oh, looks like some of it dripped through the floor below, too. I think that's all the blood there is to be found. Alright, that concludes this phase of our investigation. Blood in the clothes box can only mean one thing. That this is where the body was hidden. I'm certain of it. I wonder who won the box in the auction. I haven't the foggiest. Still, it's a very helpful discovery. Now you just hold your horses there. There's no way the body could have been in there. What do you mean? I took a look around at that there box when I first got in here. It looked to be just about the perfect size for a little hide-and-go-seek if the need arose. And maybe it would have been if I could have opened it. But it was wrapped in chains and locked tight, and I ain't no scam-apologist. The murder happened just a little after I scoped it out, so can't nobody have put a body in there. Wrapped in chains and locked up tight, you say? That's odd. because it doesn't look to be wrapped in chains any longer. Huh? Well, slap my head and call me silly. Could have sworn it was, though. Close box. I think we've examined all we can now. Great! Time to see what's waiting down below. Shaking a leg already, are we, Miles? Okie dokie. Hey, K-Master. Yes, Mr. Fender? We're about ready to move out, so I want you to stick with me, okay? Can't have you getting lost. Of course. I'll be sure to stay close. When did those two start getting along so well? Talk shit when I got me whipped. Man, what? Oh my god, look where it leads us, bruh. Mr. Edgeworth? This room. This is the auction room. No, this is the committee chamber. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yep, they found fucking... Oh god. Way to drop right into my lap, K. Faraday. You've got real guts, I'll give you that. Arrest her, men. Arrest her right now. Wait, but she's... As for the rest of the riffraff, throw them out into the streets where they belong. Oh god, Lotta. You can't do this. This is going way overboard. Yeah, what she said. Miles, this isn't looking good, I gotta say. See how the blinding light of justice shots like, yow! Yow! Yowie! What did I do? You have to forgive me. I meant to hit a certain Carol, the ex-prosecutor. You weren't aiming for him, you were aiming straight at me. Something keeps getting in my way. Something... Yow! Right there. Franziska. So, what are you doing here, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor? I still believe Kay to be innocent. And we're supposed to care what you believe? You no longer have the right to an opinion. I am Franziska von Karma. I have no intention of stopping here or now. But you chose to stop by giving up your badge. And so our game has already come to an end. My badge was an obstacle of proceeding along the road I've chosen. I haven't stopped. I've simply cleared the way ahead. And now I'm free to follow that road, all the way to the truth. Don't you think for a second that my conviction has changed? I'm every bit as dedicated as I ever was. You seem to think you know what lies at the end of this road to truth? In that case, I demand that you show me. I'll explain my current theory first. If your road fails to lead anywhere, my whip will happily guide it. Franziska's current theory. The victim used her keycard and entered this chamber with her killer. She was then stabbed with a candelabrum by the culprit and subsequently died as a result. We know the identity of the murderer thanks to the letters she exchanged with the victim. We know the location of the murder is here in the committee's trials chamber. The blood on the floor of this room proves my theory. Game, set, match, Miles Edgeworth, QED. She seems pretty confident, huh? Heh, she doesn't lack the courage of her convictions, that's for certain. I gotta say, I can dig that vibe. I could even give her a hard no feeling. Yeah. Pathetic. Well, Miles Edgeworth, do you think you can bring my case crashing down around my ears? If you really have found the road to the truth, perhaps you'd be so kind as to point me towards it. I'll be very happy to. Settle in, Franziska. I'm about to pave that road with incontrovertible evidence. Get her, Miles. Get her, Miles. And you're sure the data from the security system is accurate? That data is just like me, perfect in every way. There's no room for doubt on either front. Well, your theory is far from perfect. I suppose I'm not going to change your mind on this so easily, am I? Correct. As I said, the victim entered the room with her killer.
Hold it!
The stab wound she sustained are a perfect match with the candelabrum in question. 3 wounds inflicted by metallic spikes by some kind, in 3 places simultaneously. Even you have to agree that there are many objects that could do that. Furthermore, Grandma Hertz confirmed the number of weapon in her report. That there's absolutely no doubt in your mind that it was the candelabrum? None whatsoever. As for the culprit...
Hold it!
Have you managed to prove conclusively that the letter found the victim was sent by K? I wasn't aware that there was any doubt on the front. Are you suggesting it was forgery? Well, if there weren't any doubts, there isn't any longer. Document analysis turned up nothing. Nothing to suggest the involvement of anyone other than the sender and the recipient of any forgery. Are you saying that they found K's prints? No, only the victims. Well then, how can you say for sure that K did the deed? Haven't you been listening? Document analysis found nothing to suggest that the letter was a forgery. Face it, the letter was sent by K. Faraday. A fact that more than adequately proves the identity of the murderer.
Hold it!
Has the blood been analyzed to see who it belongs to? It has, and unsurprisingly, it was confirmed to be that of the victim. And has it occurred to you that where it was found may not be where the murder in fact took place? How quickly you forget, Miles Edgeworth. Evidence is everything in the courtroom. So please, present your proof that the murder occurred elsewhere. Or kindly stand down. Proof that the murder occurred elsewhere, huh? This isn't a courtroom, but that doesn't mean I can't give her the evidence so clearly she desires. She makes a pretty watertight argument, huh? Perhaps, but she doesn't know what we know. You're right. We've got a certain scientific discovery up our sleeves. And that discovery will show her to the road I've found to the truth.
Objection!
Bonk, bonk. If I remember correctly, the blood discovered in this room was located at the foot of the Goddess of Justice statue. Murder under the gaze of the divine, but perhaps an act even for a cold-blooded killer. Except that may not be true at all. Take a look at this if you would. It's a blood stain discovered in the storeroom directly above the committee chamber. As you can see, the blood we found has to have dripped through the room below. And the elevator dripped down from. It descends directly to the foot of the statue. Ah, so you noticed. Then you will agree that the murder cannot in fact have happened in this room? I put it to you that the victim was killed in the room above and only afterwards she was moved down here. The Goddess of Justice did not witness a murder. She witnessed a killer trying to cover their tracks. Why is she smiling? Sorry, I was just thinking back to a very similar situation. Well done, Miles Edgeworth. You've proven yourself to be even more foolish than I thought. Mr. Edgeworth is anything but a fool, sir, and you know it. Yow! Have you forgotten the picture you just showed me? Or are you really that airheaded? Even a cursory glance shows that there was far more blood here in the committee chamber than upstairs. Ouch, whipped in and noried again. Well, ow! You're trying to tell me that all that blood dripped from above, Miles Edgeworth? If it had, your storeroom stand would need to be 10 times as big. I say the murder happened down here. There's no way it could have happened anywhere else. As insightful as ever, Francisca, but you played the right into my hands. How so? You are correct. There was far less blood upstairs than one would expect. The question is, why? Trifling detail in the face of my previous explanation. Alas, your explanation doesn't account for why there was blood in the storeroom in the first place. Surely you don't think some spatter managed to shoot itself all the way up there, do you? Oh, like some crazy fountain of blood? No way. No way indeed. It's completely impossible. So how about this? What if this explains the difference in the amounts of blood observed? There's far more blood in the committee chamber than in the storeroom above because the weapon was removed here. The victim died of 3 stab wounds. Wounds that would have bled profusely. Exactly, as proven by the amount of blood we found on the floor of this room. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Not if she was stabbed in the storeroom. He said there wasn't much blood up there already. Yee! Silence, you half-baked, harebrained rookie. Hey, harebrained is a little... Yow! The stab wound bleeds heaviest at one particular point in time. Oh, I know, when the weapon is removed, right? Precisely. I believe the body was brought down to the committee chamber with the candelabrum still in the chest. And then, when it was finally removed, it created the difference in the amount of blood we see between the 2 locations. But why? What was the killer trying to do? I imagine they were trying to give the impression that the murder happened down here. As we know, Miss Ringer's keycard was used late last night. Judging by the time listed in the record, I'd hazard a guess that it was used by the killer when they entered the room to create the elaborate setup. Why would they have needed to do all this in the first place? Perhaps because a person with a face to hide would fear the storeroom being found in the investigation? If they were involved with the underground auction, they couldn't afford to have their duty secret exposed. Underground auction? Excuse me. You should take a look at the storeroom for yourself. The items up there tell quite a story. One that should more than explain what was going on here last night. Almost endearing, Miles Edgeworth, how desperately you want to protect your friend. There's something just beneath the surface of this case. Something bigger than all of us. Kate's only crime was to have the bad fortune to fall right into the middle of it. That's quite the hyperbolic claim, Miles Edgeworth. Hyperbolic? Me? Surely you're the one making a mountain of my perfectly reasonable molehill. You're working with Interpol on international cases, so why are you investigating a domestic murder? I'll tell you why, because this case has something to do with the smuggling ring you've been chasing. You followed the trail of items being smuggled by the ring and wound up here. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that there's something I sense that isn't related to any of this. I'm very happy to learn that you've given up your badge didn't completely relieve you of your senses. Scruffy here told me about the circumstances that led up to that, by the way. Sorry, sir. I just thought it might help, you know? You did the right thing, Detective. So am I right, Francisca? Is this incident part of the broader case you're working? Was the underground auction already on Interpol's radar? Wouldn't you like to know? But you don't need to, and so you won't. You knew, didn't you? The auction was being held here in this chamber. Hey, y'all, mind if I butt in for a second? Your victim over there, that lady in the white. You! Hey! Let a gal finish, will ya? No good butting in a pain in the you-know-what. Youch! Well, this leopard shrink changed her spots. Your testimony's not required, and neither is your presence. What do you mean? I'm a journalist. You can't... Ow! You're a liar is what you are. You lied under oath that one time. Seems like Miss Von Karma's none too fond of Miss Hart, huh? I don't think she's her biggest fan, no. What's she called? Ringer, right? She was a member of this here committee? Well, she's dressed exactly like the ringleader of that secret auction. Stop it. Stop whipping me, dang it. What is the meaning of this interruption? Miles Edgeworth, explain. Miss Hart here helped us by describing how the auctioneer was dressed. And it seems they were wearing the exact same outfit as the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer. But that would mean that the victim was also the ringleader? Now, how about we just calm down, sir? It seems I have some new information to consider. It's true that I came here to investigate the underground auction and to arrest its head of operations, the auctioneer. But if Miss Hart is to be believed, the ringleader's dead. I guess that means your journey here today was wasted. I suppose it does. Nonetheless, I, Francisco Von Karma, I refuse to leave empty-handed. Time for a rematch, Miles Edgeworth. Fine by me. But you may find that your whip will go sorely underused this round. Latest theory. Fine, I accept your little explanation. That would make the storeroom the actual scene of the crime, yes? In which case, the murderer is someone connected to the auction. If that photograph is to be believed, the victim was the auctioneer and the culprit was an attendee. The killer lay in wait for the victim in the storeroom where the exchange of the illicit goods was to take place. Then they stabbed the victim in the chest with a piece of merchandise, the candelabrum. There. Does that about sum it up? Because I won't accept the rebuttals. I'm afraid you might have to. There's a serious hole in your testimony. There is? I didn't spot any. Good thing you're the one in charge here, Mr. Edgeworth. Alright then, time to fight back. You have to win this for us. And I will. Time to take Francisca's testimony to task.
Hold it!
You concede that point rather easily. I can't help but be suspicious. I'm not in the habit of denying facts that are readily supported by the evidence. That's not all there is to it. You're able to show that the murder actually took place in the storeroom.
Hold it!
And how exactly did you come to that conclusion? Members of the big building staff were questioned extensively, but none mentioned a secret storeroom. And it seems that its existence was known to only a handful of people. And of course, that storeroom was where the items were to be sold in the auction were being kept. Very good. We'll suggest a link between knowledge of the storeroom and involvement in the auction. Bing.
Hold it!
So you believe that the victim and the ringleader were one and the same? I do, and the murderer was... Why are you asking her this? You just said the exact same thing yourself, dummy! So I did. I was merely confirming Francisco's reasoning in order to... Oh, don't give me that horse feed! You get caught saying something stupid and you give it a little laugh and move on with your day. The murderer was one of the auction attendees. What? You don't get no notes for our friend here after that little performance of his? Of course, assuming that our friend the photographer's word can be trusted. Can't tell if they love or hate one another. Anyway, the more relevant the point here is how the culprit actually carried out their plan.
Hold it!
How exactly did they manage that, I asked? Miss Hart was in the storeroom too, remember?
Objection!
Yes, hiding someplace. And if you've seen the storeroom yourself, you know exactly that there are plenty of other places to hide too. So you're saying the killer was hiding out of sight while they awaited the victim's arrival? I believe we can reasonably assume that the murder took place after the auction had concluded. After all, the victim was the auctioneer herself. She would surely have needed to be present throughout the proceedings. She thinks it happens afterwards? Would you mind adding that statement to your testimony, Francisca?
Objection!
Pathetic. It seems you're one step behind yet again, Francisca. How so? The auctioneer was not, in fact, the victim. I can prove it. This is the statement Miss Hart gave us. Well, if she made it, it's not worth the air she used to say it. I done told you I'm a journalist, dang nabbit. My word is youch. Did I ask you to open your mouth? Double youch. Damn, she's pissed.
Objection!
Calm down and listen for a second, Francisca. Miss Hart witnessed at least some of the events surrounding the murder, and she confirmed that the auction continued even after the murder occurred. You bet it did. It went right on like nothing happened at all. How would that have been possible without an auctioneer, It wouldn't. So you see, the victim couldn't have been the auctioneer if she was one of the attendees. As I've been saying since the start, there's no way Katie can be the murderer, because she had been pushed down the hatch by her assailant and knocked out unconscious by the time. So then, who was the victim really? Right, well, if the auction carried on after the murder, the victim must not have been the auctioneer, but an attendee. That's enough. I know that sound all too well. And you're a part of it, Gavel. You ain't slick. Order in the quorum. All rise for the chairman. I'm sitting my ass down. Fuck this guy. Oh, there's no need for all that pomp and circumstance, Verity. Please, everyone, feel free to call me Celsius. Yes, that'll do nicely. Alright, Celsius, what are you doing here? Oh, just stopped by to see how my boneheaded boy was getting along. They say they're all sorts of families, but I'm not sure these two are what they meant. Thought I might need to light a fire under this investigation, but it seems not. The suspect everyone's searching high and low for is right back here where we started. Men, detain the suspect immediately. Wait, Miss Faraday is innocent. Shut your meddling mouth. Damn. You're becoming something of a problem, Miles, my boy. I thought I told you. The committee wants this matter cleared up as soon as possible. It's a matter of trust. We can't have our organization be seen to drag its feet. It's bad for us and it's bad for me, too. Personally. Sorry, it must be my age. Your unlawful investigation ends here and it will not be permitted to resume. In case you have forgotten, you are no longer a prosecutor. You have no authority here. But what's more, there's the matter of you aiding and abetting a suspect. She's right, of course. As always, you really are a godsend, Verity. Everything I do knowingly. If you wish to prosecute me for it, be my guest, but know this. We have uncovered a new suspect, this person here. Miss Faraday was attacked by this
Overruled.
You can stop right there, Mr. Edgeworth. The raincoat in your picture was discovered nearby a short while ago. The victim's blood was found on the hood, along with the cherry blossom petals. Cherry blossom petals? Like the ones on the roof? Yes, they were stuck to the edges of the bloodstains, probably due to the blood being fresh at the time. The results came back already, my boy, so there's no mistaking it. The person in your picture is the victim, Miss Rosie Ringer. What? No, this has completely undermined our entire case. All our assumptions were based on the person in the red raincoat being the killer. But if they were the victims instead, then Kay remains at the top of the suspect list. Miss Faraday, you testified to having encountered a red person in a red raincoat on the roof, correct? Yes, I did. We now know that the person was the murder victim. You are the only person we know who came in contact with her. Since one of you wound up dead, we all know how that encounter went.
Objection!
No, Kay was attacked by that person. She is the victim here, not the aggressor.
Overruled.
As far as I recall, we have yet to see any evidence that proves she was attacked as you claim. Even if such proof existed, Miss Ringer could simply have been acting in self-defense. Well, you can't just jump to conclusions like that. Kay is innocent. But I'm not. Kay? I'm not innocent. I don't want to believe it, but I remembered something. Hearing about the raincoat brought it back. It's just a flash, but I remember what I saw now, right when it happened. The murderer, it was me. I remember looking down and the person in the red raincoat was on the ground. It was me, Mr. Edgeworth. It was me all along. I'm the murderer. I'm the murderer. No, you're not. You can't be. Then what am I? Why do I have a memory like that? They were on the floor in front of me. There was a pool of blood. Oh, God, I hate looking at that sprite, dog. Why was I just standing there? Why didn't I do something? I know why. It's because I was the killer. This court recognizes the legitimacy of the accused's memories. What? But you said you didn't believe her like 5 minutes ago.
Overruled.
I commend you on your bravery, Miss Faraday. It will not go unrewarded. Praise be to the goddess of justice for her many blessings.
Objection!
As an official representative of Interpol, I hereby request that the suspect be...
Overruled.
We don't have time for this. We must arrest Kay Faraday this instant. How dare you take that tone with me? This is a gross overreach of authority. I demand that you give us more time to investigate. You say my investigation is unlawful? What could be more unlawful than this? Unfortunately, you no longer speak for the law. Indeed, you don't. But I do. And while I can't help but be moved by your dedication to your friend, I have to agree with Verity. Speaking of the law, it seems there is one other we must arrest. Yes, I almost forgot. Miles. Miles. What are you talking about? Mr. Edgeworth was just doing his job. He didn't do anything wrong. He wasn't doing squat. By which I mean to say, unfortunately, Miles is no longer serving in any kind of official capacity. You went too far this time, Mr. Edgeworth. You conducted an unlawful investigation. Worse, you aided and abetted the flight of a suspect. You are no longer even an ex-prosecutor. You are a criminal, nothing more. God damn it. Oh, that reminds me. There was supposed to be a hearing today, wasn't there? Concerning your conduct? I'll make sure it's officially rescheduled for tomorrow. Although, I fear I already know the outcome. Look at this as an opportunity to reflect on your own actions, Miles. A chance to really think long and hard. Wow, bro. These assholes. Fucking scum. This court is adjourned. So what? Miles being thrown in jail, and now what? We're gonna play as somebody else? Let me play as Fender. Let me play as Fender. Never thought I'd spend another night in here again. And they stripped me of all my evidence we'd so painstakingly gathered. Oh my god, they did. But I still have the Yatagarasu pin, though. Oh, that's cute. Even if they did keep, even if they did let me keep Kay's Yatagarasu pin, I can't help but worry about her. They better be treating her well. Come on, let's go. You got a visitor. A visitor? Who? Someone by the name of Dick Gumshoe. Want me to send him away? Gumshoe! No. I'm not sure what even to say to him. God, this is so weird being on this side, bro. They're leaving me unsupervised? Forgive the intrusion. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Judge Gavelle, that's not Gumshoe. Please, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a seat. That's not Gumshoe. What are you doing here? I was told it was Detective Gumshoe. I imagine you wouldn't come if you knew it was me. What could she possibly want from me now? I suppose I better find out. You may not be aware of this, but you are only permitted to meet with specially approved visitors. So I'm going to be treated like a dangerous criminal, am I? I suppose my reputation has rather plummeted. It has indeed. For you, of course, and your friends. That attorney and the other girl were raising quite the fuss earlier. Fender and Emma. I saw them launch some extremely heated words at one of the guards. No, you didn't. You may thank the goddess in that regard, for even she is too busy to deal with each and every infraction. They will not be punished for their bad behavior. Did you come here just to chit-chat with me? You must have a lot of time on your hands. Oh, speaking of which, Miss Von Karma is continuing the investigation where you left off. I just thought you would like to know. I figured you'd be worried about how they were all doing. I hate to admit it, but she read me like a book. Let's cut to the chase, Your Honor. Why are you really here? I'm here simply to talk, nothing more. There's something I wish to know about you. Me? Yes. Who else? Objectively speaking, you are highly intelligent and quick-witted, and a born prosecutor at that. Please, Judge Gavelle, your sarcastic praise is but salt on my wounds. I sincerely mean every word, Mr. Edgeworth, and it is why I fail to understand you. Take this latest case, for example. You're up against the very committee itself. You had no hope of succeeding. Even a child could have seen that, and yet... I don't imagine the old me would have been so reckless. The old me had power, and because of that, I thought that justice was always on my side. Just as you and the committee believe now. But a certain person changed my mind. He made me reckon with my selfish and skewed sense of justice. I wonder who he is, bro. Yo, can you just say Phoenix? But once the scales had fallen from my eyes, I began to look at people differently. I saw that I was only able to be an effective prosecutor thanks to the efforts of those around me. Detective Gumshoe, the many investigative officers of the force, and even Kay. It changed me. The degree to which it changed me still surprises me to this day. I see. Thank you. I feel that perhaps I understand you a little better now. You understand me? I highly doubt it. Someone who is focused on forcing their idea of justice onto other people can't possibly see what I see. Is that so? Is that what you truly believe? I will say one thing. This has been a very interesting conversation. That is all. Before I go, there is one remaining matter. I was asked to inform you that the date of your hearing has been confirmed. It will be held today, in the trial chamber. The committee sends its warmest regards. That was all you had to tell me. You could have just sent a message. And entrust the goddess's words to another? That wouldn't do now, would it? Until then, Mr. Edgeworth, I'll see you again very shortly. Don't talk to me. Oh, it's completely quiet. Oh, this is not nice. Why is this so quiet? Do I have another visitor? Kay! Oh, thank goodness you seem alright. Had to load off my mind. Edgeworth is such a nice guy. Such a heartwarming seed. It's enough to make a grown man cry. You're still not your usual cheery. I mean, you have to stay positive, Kay. You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, I guarantee you didn't. No, you have to let it go. I'm the murderer. I know that now. But you're not. You can't be. Why don't you have any faith in yourself? How can I, Mr. Edgeworth, when there is no me left to believe in? None left? None at all? I don't think that's true. Before you lost your memory, we spent quite a bit of time together. And I dare say you left quite the impression on me. Oh. So you see, there's still plenty of you left. That's why I believe so much in your innocence, and why you should believe in yourself, too. Thank you. But I can't. It would just cause more pain for the both of us. Please, you have to forget her. Forget that Kay. She's gone. Kay, no! You remind me of my younger self, you know. So noble, so bold. This is the justice you and the committee stand for? justice? I suppose you could call it that. What is he up to? Why is he going to such lengths to control everything? I can't shake the feeling that something is very wrong here. Is there some hidden agenda at play? This is no time to second guess myself. If I'm going to find out what it is, it's now or never. Oh, then my boy, I suppose it should be... Wait. Mind chess. Let's go! Why is the chairman so intent on seeing Kay charged with this murder? It doesn't make any sense. There must be some rhyme or reason to this madness. Come now, Miles. I'm a busy, important man. I can't be wasting my precious time talking to you. The only way out of the current predicament is through Chairman Winner. There's so much to ask in so little time. Let's start by trying to find out why he rushed to have Kay arrested so quickly. I can't just let this happen. I'm getting answers if it's the last thing I do. Why were you so keen to push through Kay's arrest? I've yet to hear a satisfactory explanation. An explanation? I'm not entirely sure what you mean. Don't give me that. You know exactly what I mean. I advise you to moderate your tone, dear boy. Need I remind you of your position? And suppose we did let your good friend go free then. What then, What do you mean, what then? Think how that would look, my boy. And who would have to take the blame? Me, that's who. You're right to keep your mouth shut. That way you won't say anything foolish. Sorry, but I can't stay silent forever. No way Kay's innocence is still in doubt. You're breaking my heart. Just look at this flood of tears. Spilling out. Please, just leave it alone, will ya? Things were coming along nicely until you interfered. Coming along nicely? That's a pretty strange way of putting it. It's almost as if you wanted Kay's arrest to happen. It certainly doesn't sound like the statement of an impartial representative of the law. Damn, he has 4 pieces. You think so? Well, that wasn't my intention. Has it occurred to you that you just might be overthinking things a little? Chairman Winner certainly knows how to dodge a question, but it doesn't change the fact that serious doubts remain concerning Kay's arrest. Next, we'll need to press him on whether he really believes the investigation was sufficient. We can't allow any of his statements to go unexamined, no matter how trivial they may seem. One of them may just give us the breakthrough we need. You can hardly say your investigation was sufficient. You're the one who called all the shots, weren't you? Including the decision to have Kay arrested? Oh, I'm afraid I'm nowhere near as influential as you think, dear boy. You're the chairman of the committee. It doesn't get much more influential than that. Not that I care about such things. You wound me. It's enough to drive an old man to tears. You have to forgive me. I'm not the deferential type. Well, if you're going to insist on being so blunt, then I'm afraid you won't be seeing your prosecutor's badge again anytime soon. Let me make something clear once and for all. That badge isn't the be-all, end-all for me. Far from it. I'm not concerned with titles or roles. Even you must understand that much. So young. So very young. A word of advice, Miles, from somebody who's been around the block. You're hopelessly naive, my boy. Idiotically so. Well, that's certainly got under his skin. He might be less guarded in his answers while he's in this state. Now's my chance. How much time was spent in your investigation altogether? My, you really don't give up, do you? But even my patience has its limits, you know. What a coincidence, so does mine. Now answer the question. Do you believe that your investigation was sufficient or not? The youth these days are wont to be reckless. It makes me want to put you in your place. You're going to regret that, my boy. Maybe you do know your place after all. What's the matter, scared? Hardly. I was just thinking about how to best proceed. Getting answers from the elderly requires sensitivity. They can get quite emotional after all. Damn! You have no common sense whatsoever, do you? Don't you understand? Your fate rests in my hands. Let's say you do manage to get some answers from me. There's nothing you can do with them, so why not give it up, dear boy? No. And why not? It's simple, because I'm not about to let the truth escape me. Interesting. I think I'm beginning to see what makes you tick. But what you're doing is pointless. Tragically, miserably pointless. Please just give it up. She's guilty. The decision has been made. Once again, your choice of words intrigues me. It's almost as if Kay's guilt had already been determined from before her arrest. What are you trying to imply? I'm implying that things haven't gone as they normally should. In fact, everything has proceeded as if Kay's arrest was the end goal right from the very start. Well, Chairman Winner, was it? Good old mind chess, bruh. That's exactly an intriguing theory. But it's also a complete work of fiction. I'm afraid I don't have time for such flights of fancy. I think it's time we brought this shabby little farce to an end, don't you? No, he's trying to make his escape. We must confirm the legality of Kay's arrest before he slips away. Oh my god, the music just got faster. It's fate, but the truth is finally beginning to emerge. I'm not about to let this opportunity pass me by. Wait, we're not done yet. I'm tired of all this talking, so make it brief, will ya? Based on everything I've heard from you so far, it's clear that Kay's arrest is entirely unfounded. The music got faster, bro. Yes, I think we're all familiar with this particular refrain of yours by now. I'm afraid it doesn't matter either way. You don't have what it takes to secure a release anyhow. How dare you take this so lately as a man of the law? My, aren't you a rude little boy? But my fuse, it's only so long. Honestly speaking, I don't have the time to waste on every last question you can dream up. I have certain responsibilities to attend to, you know. I really am quite the busy man. Why are you just pretending to be busy, That's an awful thing to say to a fragile old man. I worked harder than I should at my age. I ask you, my boy, what could I even hope to accomplish by putting up such a pretense? You obviously don't want to talk about the case anymore. That's why you're so keen to get out of this conversation, isn't it? It's just so tragic, it really is. That you would suspect me of such things. It's not a suspicion, it's a certainty. There were no clear grounds on which to base Kay's arrest for a start. Now, my boy, let's not get carried away. There was plenty of evidence to support our case. The mask, the letter, the corsage, these were all in her possession. And of course, her confession. More than enough to prove her guilt, I'd say. But those are... What's the matter? Struggling to come up with a way to explain everything away? I don't think this is it. Well, there we have it. Your silence speaks volumes. It's true I can't counter your argument right now. But you did let something valuable slip. A suspiciously detailed knowledge of evidence against Kay. He rattled off the list like he knew it inside out. I think that might prove to be a valuable clue. Let me try another angle. Alright. Who gave the order? Who decided that Kay should be arrested? Oh my god, this is tense. You know I can't seem to remember. Don't ever get old, Miles, my boy. It wreaks havoc on the memory. Time to deploy my clue. I'd appreciate it if you stopped playing the old man card. You remember the details of the evidence against Kay pretty clearly. Perhaps if your memory didn't fail you on when it was convenient, I'd be more inclined to believe you. So let me ask you again, who gave the order for Kay's arrest? You're a sharp one, I give you that. My son could learn a thing or two from you. He wasn't such an incurable numbskull, that is. It's a tragedy, really. I don't want to hear about your son. I want to know who authorized the arrest. You're very mean, you know that, don't you? The arrest, you say? I believe the order was given by... Come now, Chairman Winner. We both know it was you. Alright, you got me. You make it sound like it was somehow a bad thing, though. Well, I have a reputation to uphold, so I guess I better clear up this little misunderstanding. I'll entertain your questions for a few more minutes. Let's see if I can put your mind at ease. The key thing to do now is to establish how intimately he knows the details of the case. I just have to ask the right questions. The end game is at hand, but we're a few moves away from the truth. You seem to know the case in quite some detail. I know about lots of things, my boy. I'm just smart like this. Too bad the same can't be said when the way you handled Kay's arrest. I'm a very busy man. Do try to remember that I can bring this little chat to an end whenever I so choose. It's only taking so long because you won't give me a straight answer to any of my questions. If only you'd stop giving me the runaround, we'd be done already. So let's try this again. You seem to know the details of the case quite intimately. Why is that? Because I read the case file. Not exactly the most thrilling use of my time, of course, but it's part of the job. I have to be a good role model. I can't be seen slacking. Can't be so hard. But I had some time on my hands, so I read the whole thing from cover to cover. That's strange. I could have sworn you just told me you're a very busy man. I'd say the cracks are finally starting to show, wouldn't you? If you're so keen on being an upstanding leader, you can start by releasing Kay, you know. You really don't give up, do you? It's a moving sight indeed, my boy. But a tragic one, too, after all. Oh, excuse me. You reference it for not. I'm afraid your little friend was found unconscious near the scene of the crime. We have yet to hear much about the circumstances under which Kay was found. She was lying unconscious in the storeroom, correct? That's right. Although I'm not at liberty to tell you how I know that. He knows things even we didn't. In fact, he seems to be aware of every tiny detail about this case. This could be a valuable clue. Sorry, but the more you tell me, the less sense your story makes. For one thing, you know the details that even those investigating the scene were not aware of. Why is that? Just how much do you really know, Chairman Winter? And I wonder who the guy in the red coat is. Oh, there's that intimidating face you like to make again. Well, two can play this game. How do you like me now, I do have to commend you on your doggedness. Doggedness? It really is something. I'll take it as a compliment. Take it however you like, but wrap this up, will you? I just don't have the stamina anymore. She's the culprit, the only possible suspect. Just accept that already. How much more evidence did you want us to load her down with, for goodness sakes? Load her down with? Yet another interesting turn of phrase. One that makes it sound like oh my god. One that makes it sound a lot like the items Kay was carrying might have been foisted upon her. I'm impressive. You really do pay attention, don't you? It's no wonder they used to call you a prodigy, Mr. Ex-Prosecutor. I think you know the answer to your question by now. Why don't you just go ahead and say it? I want to hear it from you. It's finally time to shed light on the truth. All I've left to play is to play one last move. Kay is innocent. Kay is innocent. Kay was framed. The true culprit set it all up so she could take the fall instead. That is my answer, and I won't let you deny it any longer. Oh! He lit his beard on fire. Oh, shit. My, you really are a sharp one, It's a bit of a shame you chose to hand in your badge. I admit it, you're right on all accounts. And that's checkmate. You knew Kay wasn't the real murderer, and yet you still had her arrested. What's worse, you thought you could get away with it. Well, you won't. Not if I can help it. Here you go with that naiveness again, my boy. I guess that was always your problem. With the girl arrested and a conviction secured, this whole mess goes away, and that's what will happen. But whose interest does a conclusion like that serve? His? The committee's, I suppose. And mine. You know, listen to you just now, but it really got the tears flowing, I have to say. I was poignant and heartfelt and sincere and utterly infuriating. Look, I'm not perfect, I know that, but your lack of sophistication in these matters is beyond the pale. You insist that the truth is more important than anything else. Would you say the same if you knew what the real value of the truth is? What are you trying to say? When you get to my level, you don't uncover the truth, you make it little by little. Okay, Faraday? Murderer. That's the truth I created. Yes, my boy, that's what I like to see. You're so sincere sometimes it's painful. It just makes me want to put you in your place. Knowing the real truth would get you nowhere. Because that's how much it's worth. Nothing. Shocking, I know. But why not go after the real killer? How much do you even know about what really happened? You're still not getting it. That's your truth. And it is worthless. Mine's all that matters. You understand what I'm saying, don't you? Mr. Ex-Prosecutor, I have all the power here. Curse you. Well, aren't you menacing? You and your little friend are just as bad as each other. Violent criminals who deserve to be locked up. You'll pay for this. And with that, yet another person disappears from my life. Oh, it just makes me want to cry and cry and cry. Fucking asshole. I'm not planning to disappear just yet. Chairman Winter, there's still the hearing later today. Just you wait. One way or another, I'll prove Kay's innocence to the world then.